Hello, hello, top of the morning to you, and happy St. Patrick's Day. So today I'm going to discuss a comment that my therapist said to me. When you're feeling anxious with anxiety and limey, embrace it, she says. Love it, embrace it. Okay. My thought is, well, I'm feeling like this. Let me wrap you up in saran wrap tightly. Put weights on each of your arms, your back, and your legs. Oh, and feet too. And let me put 2 suction cups on your ears and clock you in the head with something so you have a migraine. Spin you in a few circles, stand you up and see if you can walk, and then tell you to embrace it. There ain't no embracing that. I'm sorry. So, at any rate, what's been going on? I've got some video clips here of what's been going on. Obviously, today I'm not feeling well on St. Patty's Day. I can't even finish putting my makeup on, doing my hair. Just is not happening right now. So, I'm up and down. Can't live without Xanax, can't live without ibuprofen. Not a lot of Xanax. I limit myself either to a half a tablet a day, then down to a quarter for a couple days, and back to a half a tablet. So that way I'm not getting overly addicted to the stuff. I'm allowed up to a tablet a day, but it balances me out. It stops me from feeling so dizzy. I've heard with other people that have this, that also have like seizure medicines and stuff, that they found when they tried to quit that their balance was off and the whole 9 yards. So it is what it is. Most recently, I've had conversations with this one person, very nice person. Tested positive for Lyme at one point. Hasn't, in the recent future, like last year, a couple years, hasn't had any flare-ups or this or that, but went and looked up the symptoms of Lyme disease and has now ruined themselves from reading the web to the point of being a hypochondriac. Afraid that if they're on antibiotics, they're going to feel like we do, and so on. And, you know, guys, I think it would be good to go down below and mention your opinions on that. I know this person is worried that in the future they're going to be going through what we go through. Can't spit the words out today, guys. And no offense, I mean, I feel for the person. I have a heart for everybody, but sometimes it's almost insulting when somebody feels really good or is normal and they're worried about how we're feeling when we feel like crap every second of every day, pretty much. Even on our good days, we still feel like crap. I had a good day exactly a week ago today, and I actually got up, got some house cleaning done. I mean, I'm always doing that, but I got extra cleaning done. I didn't stop. I didn't need an ibuprofen. I didn't need a Xanax for dizziness. And I'm still going through little bits and bouts of the flare-up from December. And Lord only knows what I'm experiencing now, because it's been 3 weeks since I had the high fever and was sick with some unknown disease or unknown bacteria thing. And I know your first thought's coronavirus right now in today's day and age. It is questionable. My mother even questions it, because when I got it, I never had any sinus problems, no runny nose, no stuffy head, no sore throat. It just started off, I was in Albany, in the city, at the hospital where my other half had his thyroid out. And then the next day I was completely exhausted. I slept for like 12 hours. I just assumed that it was because I didn't get much sleep the night before, and maybe the stress of being out there and him and everything else. maybe got to me. And then the next day, and mind you, I only sleep 6 to 8 hours on a very good night, typically 4 to 6 hours. And I don't know. All of a sudden, that Sunday, I woke up and I was cleaning really good, and I started uncontrollable coughing. It wouldn't stop, and I'm still using a nebulizer and overusing my inhaler because it's all in the chest. So when my fever spiked to like 103.7, 102.7, just overall, my other half told me go to the doctor. But when my fever got up, he's like, call them back, get in earlier. So I had taken, a mix of ibuprofen and aspirin and everything else with only a couple hours in between. I know. And it's like I went in there and I looked okay because my temperature was down to 99 temporarily. And I actually asked if I had to put a mask on. I still have the mask here. And they said, oh, yes. And I'm like, probably should have told me that earlier, coughing and the fever. So it was just terrible, terrible, terrible congestion and high fevers. And I was tested for pneumonia, didn't have it. Tested for the flu, didn't have it. So it's like, one has to wonder, was it the coronavirus? A lot of people in this area had it. And then some girl, they had gone to Greece. They actually gave her a test, and hers came back positive. But she had been in Greece like 6 weeks prior. So they said that it wasn't from Greece, that she got it locally. But yet, they only claim one person has it. So when I went, they weren't giving tests for that because I hadn't been out of the country. And my mother told me to call and see if I could get a test now. But they said, well, you're only, contagious for 14 days. So it's like, well, how can you pinpoint everybody as to being contagious for only 14 days? And she goes, I don't believe you had it. I think you just had some sort of strain of the flu. But wouldn't that have shown up in the flu test? So a lot of us around here are like, Jesus, did we have it? I'm not the only one. But they won't give us a test for it, so I don't know. So moral of the story, back to what I was saying, is when somebody is chronically ill with Lyme, I think it's almost like an insult. And I know this person was in no way trying to insult. I almost feel like it's an insult when they're, panicking. Oh my gosh, I'm having panic attacks. I've got to take antibiotics. I'm panicking, I may someday have the symptoms that you guys have. And it's like, Jesus Christ, what we wouldn't give to just go back and feel good and not think about the virus or the disease. Now, I love you dearly. Don't get me wrong, because I think you know who I'm talking to. But I'm just saying it from a Limey's point of view. It's sometimes hard to hear it. So, outside of that, not much new is going on. I can't wait until spring is officially full and swinging around here, like any person that lives in the northeast or west. I hope everybody is doing well. I pray that nobody gets a coronavirus. I will say one thing, and I've said this on like my Facebook channels and stuff. It's great that people wash their hands and this and that, and you go to use a public restroom, you touch the faucet, you got dirty hands. And how many other people had dirty hands before you that touched the faucet? You soap up and this and that, you rinse off, you touch the faucet again. The faucet's dirty. Now you got to touch the doors. Okay. I've always made it a habit to put a sleeve over my hand or use a paper towel, which is actually better. But when you have those air dryers, you can't use a paper towel. So, you have to use your sleeve. So, People don't realize little things, resting your hands on tables, this and that. I don't know, guys. I'm not here to complain. I'm sorry. I didn't want to complain too much. I just wanted to come on, wish everybody a happy St. Patrick's Day. Hopefully, I feel a little bit better here soon. But I'll just keep you updated as to how things are. And praying for everybody with the coronavirus because people are going crazy. One thing to remember, we are limeys. And while we may be susceptible to stuff, at the same time, our body tends to go into overdrive and fight things pretty good. And Lord knows we have a lot of bacteria inside of us that is ready to go kick something else's butt if it invades our body. So, cheers to us. One thing about people being, if we end up being secluded to our houses and stuff, we as a whole are used to that. So, hopefully the rest of the world can handle what we deal with mentally and physically when we're shut in. All right, guys, prayers to all of you and your families and to your societies. Prayers to everybody. I shall bid you a farewell. And for the one day out of the year that I'm Irish, top of the morning to you. Cheers. Tea. Bye.